Hi, I'm Patty, and we're back at the Cade Museum for Creativity Plus Invention in Gainesville, Florida. You're in the Creativity Lab with me today, and I'm here to talk about the mothers of invention. One of them is iteration. The inventor we're going to celebrate today is Luther Burbank. You've never heard of Luther Burbank? He started out with seeds of plants, vegetables, and fruits. And in the 1800s, he refined the process into what we now have growing to feed the world. One of them is a very famous product I'm sure you've heard of, the Burbank russet potato, named after Luther. He even has a museum named after him. But today, what I want to share with you is the fact that Luther, when he was a little boy, he grew up in a large household, and they had a garden. Actually, they probably had many gardens to feed a large household, and it was out of necessity. They had to grow their own food. Luther tended the gardens with his mother. It's said that that is where he developed the curiosity to grow his own things, to make them better through iteration, trial and error. And with that, I'm going to show you a really fun and easy crystal recipe to grow rapid crystals in a matter of a few hours. And from what I've heard, those crystals can grow on pretty much everything. So we want to spark your curiosity through iteration of crystal growing today. And we want you to think bigger, because you never know who will be the next chemist, engineer, or inventor out there, or scientist just waiting to help solve one of our world's problems.
The ingredients you're going to need to make these very successful rapid grow crystals are a stainless steel bowl or a glass mixing bowl, never plastic, a 1 cup measuring device, a 1/2 cup measuring device, a stainless steel mixing spoon, 20 Milton borax, and you're going to want to save some eggshells if you've eaten eggs, and then just give them a good rinse with water and let them dry on a paper towel overnight. This is your geode you're going to grow your crystals in. You're also going to need a hot water source, like an electric tea kettle, which works great. First thing you're going to do is measure 1 cup of 20 Milton borax in your bowl. You're then going to add 1 cup and a 1/2 cup of steaming hot water. We are going to make a solution. We want to stir it, and always ask your grown-ups for help when using hot water. You're going to stir for probably 2 good minutes, maybe even 3. Don't worry if you see little bits of crystal borax undissolved on the bottom of the bowl, or if you can feel it with your spoon. It's all right. So while you're stirring this, I'm going to get my eggshells ready. So you stir, and we'll be right back. All right, we've stirred it in. It's not quite fully dissolved, and that's okay. But I'm going to show you something. How many of you have ever made crystals from those containers or packages or kits you buy only to get disappointed? I'm going to teach you something. If we get our camera really close here, you're going to see sometimes little specks floating on top, and you can really only see them if you take a flashlight. You're going to see it almost looks like you have little particles floating on top. I call that crystal schmutz. And a professor of mine told me that in college, and he said, when you have that, you will get some crystals. So we see a little crystal schmutz, as I like to say, floating around on the top. I don't want to stick my fingers in there because once that happens, I have transferred oils and grime off my hands and I could impair the growth of my crystal. Now, I don't know if we can get the camera in there, but without that light, I'm seeing some rapid on the top. I don't know if you can kind of see them. I see them kind of as I move around. They're coming pretty fast. So I'm gonna get ready to start to pour my crystals. Now over here, I have my eggs and I just recycle my egg cartons. Now, I'm gonna pour my solution into this for easier pouring. And you can see it's not all dissolved in the bottom, and that's okay. I still have crystals growing on top. Now, very carefully, I'm gonna start pouring them in here. Now hold on a second. Do you see all these little containers here? Go outside, find a leaf, find a twig, find a rock. Place them inside your containers and fill them with a little extra of your crystal growing material because you never know what's gonna grow, right? Now, through the miracle of science, look at these. I have the coolest geode eggs growing right here. Do you see those crystals? They're pretty spectacular. I'd say they're extra special. Now these only took about 3 hours to grow. 3 hours to make really pretty crystals. This one is my favorite. Now, what would happen, say, if I left the crystal solution in there for 2 or 3 days? I don't know, scientists. This is your chance to have a little iteration, just like Luther Burbank did, and come up with your own recipes and your own trial and errors, because failure does make fabulous.